At a time when India is trying to decrease the dependence of the Indian armed forces on foreign-made arms and equipment, Indian arms imports fell by 33% in the last decade, or between 2011 to 2015 and 2016 to 2020. The idea is, why import when you can manufacture at home? The data is according to a report published by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, which is a defense think tank. The report comes at a time when the Indian government has constantly assured that the military hardware that can be designed and manufactured in the country will not be procured from abroad, or what we call in simpler words, Aatmanibhar Bharat, or self-reliance. As per the report, the drop in India's arms imports is due to two main reasons. First, India's attempt to reduce its dependence on Russian arms. Second, the country's complex procurement process. To boost domestic manufacturing of defense items, India has set aside 70,200 crore rupees, or 63% of the defense budget for 2021-22 for buying locally produced weapons and systems. Among other measures, the cap on foreign ownership in defense was raised to 74% to attract overseas investment. On 8th of March last year, the Ministry of Defense had said that 304 contracts were signed for the modernization of armed forces in the previous 5 fiscal years and the current fiscal year up to January 2021. Last year in August, the government announced a negative list consisting of 101 defense items that will not be imported from other countries. The idea of giving a boost to domestic defense production is very simple. The aim is to increase the country's manufacturing capacity, generate new employment, reduce dependence on imports, and also give a guarantee to the products being manufactured in India to be consumed in India. According to the report, India was the world's 24th largest exporter of major arms, and the country's top 3 arms suppliers during 2016 to 2020 were Russia, France, and Israel. India exported most of its military hardware to Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Mauritius. The report also talks about Russia in detail. As per the report, Russia was the hardest hit supplier of arms. Arms exports by Russia, which accounted for 20% of all the exports of major arms in 2016 to 2020, dropped drastically by 22%. The bulk of this decrease was attributed to the 53% fall in its arms exports to India. During the last 5 years, India was the biggest importer of Russian military hardware. The US, on the other hand, saw its exports rise during the same period according to the report. Its global share of arms exports went up from 32% to 37% during the same period. The report said that exports by China decreased by 7.8% between 2011 to 2015 and 2016 to 2020. The report states that even at the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020, several countries signed large contracts for major arms. The same report released last year had said that with an expenditure of $71.1 billion in 2019, India emerged as the 3rd largest military spender in the world, just behind the United States and China. With a special focus on Make in India, the government has said that Indian defense industry can only thrive by growing global. The government is actively promoting not only domestic manufacturing but also an export-oriented defense industry and a reliable security partner.